It's February 11th, 2026. We pushed out a significant update to the APX portable radio. This video is going to document these updates. I think the first one you'll notice when you turn on the radio, the voice announcement has changed.
Torrance home zone.
Torrance dispatch.
So we made the zone announcement male, the channel announcement female. That's just to help differentiate the two if you're changing channels and zones and maybe not be looking at the radio. The other thing we try to do is make the voice announcement more efficient and more descriptive when necessary. So going to TAC and command, we shortened it up to help get through the channel change quicker.
TAC 2. Command 3.
On channels that we don't use quite as frequently, maybe in zones that we're not as familiar with, we tried to be a little bit more descriptive. We'll check out the Redondo zone. So anytime you're going to a channel that's a dispatch channel, you're gonna hear the name of the dispatch center so that you can remember what the call sign is for that dispatch center.
Redondo home zone.
Redondo command 3.
You also notice that the other agencies have adopted our naming convention for our channels. So they are operating typically on channel 2 is TAC, channel 3 is command. So that's all now in alignment with what we're doing. Makes it a little bit easier. Going to the Redondo dispatch channel.
Redondo dispatch.
So they're called Redondo. The other item that might make it a little bit more clear is like when we're going to the LA County and LA City channels, they have some county channels in here.
Redondo, LA dispatch, LA dispatch D2.
So LA County Dispatch Center is called LA. So you heard it say LA dispatch. And then they have several channels in here. It's kind of hard to tell which ones are dispatch because they don't all say D on them like this one.
LA dispatch D4. LA dispatch D5. LA county-wide dispatch.
We did the same with the LAFD channels. So if we go to the El Segundo zone, you also notice that we took out any reference to like TFD or RBFD. We're sticking now with the OES, Cal OES naming convention for our agencies, RDB, MHB, ELS, so on and so forth. So looking in the El Segundo.
El Segundo, South Bay dispatch.
So when you're talking to El Segundo's dispatch center, that's in Manhattan, that's called South Bay. But then when we get to the, let's say like channel 10 in here.
Metro EMS dispatch.
So LAFD, their dispatch center is called Metro. You heard that was an EMS dispatch. So they use two different channels for dispatching EMS versus fire calls.
Metro Fire Dispatch. LAFD T10 Command.
Okay, so T10 is one of their command channels. It's not a TAC, even though it has a T in it. So we tried to make it a little bit more user-friendly on the voice command to help you guys remember what channels you're dealing with.
Torrance home zone.
Torrance Dispatch. TAC 2.
One of the other big changes we made was to some of the buttons here. So going over the first change, for keypad lock, it used to be up here. We've moved keypad lock to this ABC switch. So A and B are unlocked.
Keypad locked.
C is locked.
Keypad unlocked.
And we did that for two reasons. One, we wanted to free up this switch to make it a priority push to talk button. And then it makes it a little bit easier to change or to lock your keypad with your radio in your radio pocket. So the lock changed to up there. How do we use this priority push to talk button? I'll show you that now. Kind of looking at the side, going over these priority push to talk, your regular push to talk. This is going to be a scan button. So it's going to pull up a scan list if you long hold, and it'll also turn scan on and off with a short push. And then the 2 button down here is going to illuminate your keypad and your LCD screen, and then also change the orientation on the top screen. So if you press it once, it should light up, and then if you long hold, you can see the orientation on that top screen changed. So how do we use scan? Well, we can't scan in our digital zones. So all of our home zones have digital channels with conventional channels. We can only scan in zones with all conventional channels. And to kind of make it easy, we're kind of looking to scan when we're on wildland incidents. Wildland incidents require us to all use VHF channels. So when you go to the preset comm plans like the Foothill Zone, the Susanna Zone, these are all VHF channels. We've also added some clone zones. So when you take this radio to a large incident with a comm shop and they're programming the comm plan into APX radios, they're starting to do that now. Our radios will now be able to accept those comm plans, and we'll be able to scan in them and do a lot of the features and functions that we use our BKs for. So how that works is, let's just say we're going to a mutual aid fire in the Foothill Zone. They've identified the Foothill MTZ comm plan as the plan we're going to use. So we'll scroll down to that. These are our MTZ zones, and there's our Foothill Zone. So in this example, we're going to go to this zone, and we're going to say that we've identified that we want to scan 3 different channels. We got a command, attack, and let's say an air-to-ground channel. So how do we do that? Well, we can go to each channel individually, but how do we scan it? We got to pull up the scan list first. So this top button here, just like on the BK, is a long push. And you can see it pulls up a scan list. That's a list of every channel in that zone. And let's say we've identified that LA County V4 is going to be our command channel. So I highlight V4 and I hit select. You'll see up there, there's a little lightning bolt sign. That means that we've added it to our scan list. That's one of the channels it's going to scan. And then let's say the V-Fire 22 is going to be our TAC channel, so we can select that. We can add that to the scan list. And we said we also wanted to scan LA County air to ground. So LA County air to ground. So we got the 3 channels in our scan list. To get out of here, you can hit the home button. And we're not in scan yet. There's no scan symbol up there. We're just in our normal operation. So to turn scan on, you do a quick push, and now you can see our scan is on, okay? And so it's scanning those 3 channels that are in our scan list. But let's try to go one step farther. We want to make, this is our push to talk for, we're going to go to our TAC channel. I think we said TAC is V-Fire 22. So that's our TAC channel. We can push to talk with that, but we want to make this a push to talk for our command channel, make that a priority. So how do we do that? Well, you can open up your scan list. That's long press. And we said that V4 is our command channel. So there's V4. You can see we're scanning it. Well, if you hit select one more time, it's not only scanning it, but it's identifying with that red light there that it's a priority scan channel. You can also see that on the top, there's a green light flashing. Solid green. It's scanning. That's solid green. And then make it a priority scan, hit it one more time, and now it's flashing. All right, so now we know that V4 is our command channel, it's our priority scan. We can go back to our zone. The way we would operate is we'd put our control knob to our TAC channel. And we can transmit, and we'll receive that as the highest priority receiving channel, which is our TAC. And now we've designated this button up here as our command channel. And then this is a push, so it's priority push to talk for our command channel. So scan on and off
Scan off. Scan on.
is a quick press, and then pulling up our scan list is a long press. So that's kind of how these buttons here are set up. We talked about the channel or the keypad lock, but our remote mic is set up the same way. So you'll see that the main push to talk goes out on V-Fire, and then the smaller button below will go out on our priority channel, which is set here to V4, which is the command channel. So we can do this in any of the preset MTZ zones. If you'll notice, up here we have our dynamic zone. So if we set a bunch of conventional channels in our dynamic zone, we can do the same functionality there. And then these are our clone zones. These are the zones that will be accessed by the comm shops at these large scale incidents, and they can program the communications plan in there, and we can do the same thing within those clone zones. So it gives us a lot more functionality on these radios. A couple other updates that are here, and then one that's upcoming. These are our soft keys, so they scroll with our arrows here. You'll see here that there's a little picture of a satellite. That means we've activated the GPS chip in here. And when you hit a soft key all the way over to location, it pulls up our GPS coordinates in DDM. That's kind of the standard that's used on wildland incidents. You can use some of the other features, which you can set waypoints, you can set a home point, you can set a destination. But so you can use this as a sort of ad hoc GPS unit when you're in the field. You also notice that there's, this is our Wi-Fi meter up here. So one thing that we've added to this radio is we've added Wi-Fi functionality for when you're out in the field. We made an agreement with TMH, LCM, and HGH to be able to tap into their Wi-Fi in the hospitals, because we know we have dead zones around the city. We don't have this functionality purchased yet. We gotta purchase that subscription, but we just program the radios to accept that functionality once the purchase comes through. So, and I'll put out an announcement when that starts up, but we've been testing it, it works great. We can also connect to the cradle point on the fire engines and all of our apparatus that have cradle points. So if you have a dead zone but you still have cell coverage, you'll be able to use any of our channels on this radio. So that's a feature that's coming up. This satellite functionality works okay indoors. You'll see that it's not flashing, which means we have a connection to a satellite. But if you see that it's flashing, that means that you don't have connection. It works a lot better if you're near some glass or a window, or if you're outside. So that covers the majority of the updates that we have so far this year. We're also going to be, of course, updating the TIC-P when it comes out, and then that Smart Connect feature, which is the Wi-Fi connectivity function. We'll be updating that once the subscription arrives for the city. So there'll be a few more updates this year, but this is the big one for right now. Please don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions. I encourage all members to get with their crews, pull out their radios, start doing some training on it, and make sure you're familiar and comfortable with the new functionality. Thank you.